Once upon a time, in a quiet meadow painted with green fields and soft sunlight, lived a small ant and a cheerful grasshopper. Every morning, the ant could be seen carrying tiny crumbs of food on her back, walking steadily along the forest path toward her home. Her pace was slow, her load heavy, but her eyes were calm, full of purpose. Not far away, the grasshopper spent his days jumping from leaf to leaf, humming songs and basking in the warmth of the sun. He loved the wind, the flowers, and the feeling of freedom. Work was the last thing on his mind. One afternoon, while playing his tune on a blade of grass, the grasshopper noticed the ant below. She was dragging a piece of bread twice her size. He laughed and hopped down beside her. "Hey, little ant," he said, stretching lazily on a rock. "Every day I see you working, carrying, collecting, sweating. Don't you ever get tired of this? Life is short. Why waste it working all the time?" The ant paused, placed the bread gently on the ground, and replied softly, "I'm preparing for the rains and the cold days that will come. Just a few months of hard work now, and I'll live safely and peacefully later." The grasshopper chuckled, tossing a twig into the air like a toy. "Later? Why think about later? Enjoy now. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Look at me. I sing, I dance, and I have no worries." The ant smiled kindly, but said nothing more. She picked up her bread and continued her path, step by step, disappearing into the tall grass. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The sun that once shone bright began to fade behind gray clouds. The wind grew colder. The songs of the grasshopper became shorter, his jumps slower. Then one night, the rain came. It was not a gentle drizzle. It was a storm that swallowed the sky. Thunder growled like a beast, lightning tore through the dark, and the meadow flooded. The leaves the grasshopper once danced upon were now heavy with water. His home, a hollow under a rock, filled with mud. He tried to find shelter under branches, but everything was soaked. Cold, hungry, and trembling, the grasshopper wandered through the storm, each drop like ice on his back. "Maybe the ant was right," he whispered weakly. After hours of searching, he saw a faint light glowing beneath a mound of soil. The ant's home. Desperate, he knocked softly. "Please, help me." The door opened. The ant stood there, dry and calm. Behind her, the golden glow of warmth filled the room. The smell of food drifted through the air. She looked at him and smiled gently. "Come in." The grasshopper hesitated, ashamed. "I laughed at you," he said quietly. "I said you were wasting your life." The ant nodded. "And yet, here you are, still alive, still welcome." She gave him food and a place to rest. The grasshopper looked around. The walls were strong, the shelves full, the fire warm. He bowed his head, tears mixing with rainwater. "You were right," he said. "I lived only for the moment and forgot the future." The ant smiled again, her voice kind but firm. "We should all enjoy the sun while it shines, my friend. But never forget, the seasons always change." Outside, the storm raged on, but inside, there was peace. Days later, when the sky cleared and the first rays of sunlight returned, the grasshopper stepped out of the ant's home. He looked at the rebuilt meadow, then back at her door. "Thank you," he said softly. "Next time, I'll be ready before the storm." And he was. From that season on, the grasshopper sang his songs while also gathering food beside the ants. He still laughed, still danced, but now he worked too, because joy feels sweeter when it's earned. Dear friends, the world may tell you to live only for today, but wisdom whispers that preparation brings freedom. The time you spend building, learning, saving, or growing is never wasted. It's the foundation that keeps you standing when the storms of life arrive. So, ask yourself, are you just singing through the sunshine, or are you also preparing for the rain? Share your thoughts in the comments. What storm are you preparing for today? If this story touched your heart, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening.